my team. We gon' do it for the Beto. Forever we faithful. Forever we faithful. Not again. Forever we faithful.
Niner my gang, whoa, that back came real fast. I feel like Usain Bolt. These teams not like us, they not in the same boat. We hit all the big things, we got all the big rings. They ready to go. We ball never fold, grind stay in that mold. Another ring is the goal. All we do is win, no matter what. It's a scary sight, a Niner jersey and a cut. Faithful to the gang, yeah we up, living plush. Soon as you look up, another touch. Damn, it ain't next year, it's over here now. Crowd full of red, white, and gold, screaming loud. Let's get it in, let's get it in. Niner gang, another win. Let's get it in, let's get it in. Niner gang, another win.
Welcome everybody to a brand new episode of Fair Faithful Podcast and Niner Game Podcast. I'm Brandon Freeman, joined by me, as always, is my co-host, Deon Johnson. How we doing, bud?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Ready for a fun-filled show. You know what I'm saying? We're going to give it a little bit before I get into my comedy. I am ready.
Dude, we have so much to talk about, and it don't look good for one.
Not at all, bro.
We're definitely going to have to talk about that. But today we're going to give our predictions basically on who's going to make the team, the 53-man roster, and who's not. Even though we still have a last preseason game tomorrow against the Raiders, we're still gonna go ahead and do it and see if we agree with each other on who's gonna make it or not. But let's get right into it. Start first, Deon. Who's standing out to you so far the past 2 weeks? And who do you think's gonna possibly make the team?
Our first pick, Deon Stribling. Stribling has been absolutely amazing. I understand what Kyle is doing, but I don't like it. I don't like that he's kind of downplaying what Stribling has done. You know, kind of try to be the bad cop, so to speak. You know, when it comes down to football and whatnot. To me, that's it. You know, he's like, yeah, I mean, I'm like, come on, bro. Like, what are we doing? At this present time, Deon Stribling is doing way better than anybody else could think of. So I don't want to hear nothing, But what I will say is when it comes down to it, man, we have a nice core of players that we are focused with, and those guys are doing some good work. So I can't be too mad at it. But I have to say, if you're asking me who is the guy, it would be Deon Stribling. That is the guy that has been the standout all of preseason. Of course, there's been a lot of talk about him. After we drafted him, everybody was a little confused on, like, who is this kid? And, now it's like, oh, well, he was, we were going to draft him. Oh, he's up on our board, this, that, and the third. All y'all had a chance to draft a kid, but none of y'all drafted him. I find that to be, not true. I don't think it was that case. I think that's just them trying to quell the noise that was coming from us as Niner fans. We were definitely a little upset with what was going on with with the fact that Stribling came along and that happened. The other person that I'm going to talk about right now as well, if y'all haven't paid attention, y'all got to look at, I believe he's wearing 75. James Thompson Jr. has been making plays.
Yeah, he has.
And if you have not noticed it, you need to go back and watch the first two preseason games. 75 is out there doing his thing. I think he is a sleeper to make the team, but those are my two guys. What about you?
For me, I'm going to say first one, I'm going to say Duggar. Duggar has stood out to me
Duggar
for sure. I think he's going to be a good addition to the team, and he's been fucking everywhere on the field the past two preseason games. I'm liking what I'm seeing from him for sure. The other one, I'm going to have to say he's actually looking better than Green right now, is Jacobs.
Jacobs?
I think it's his last name, right? Jacobs. Hold on real quick.
He's a DB.
I think so.
Let me
Um,
take a look.
Yeah, look it up real quick just to make sure. I could have sworn that's. I think he is a DB.
No, we have Jack Jones. I think that's
Jack Jones. That's who it is.
Jack
Jones.
Yes.
Yes, Jones. Sorry,
Yeah.
my bad. My bad. I'm still learning the new guys' names. So
Yeah, because we have so many people that we have no idea
Yeah,
who the heck they
it's
are.
crazy.
So, yeah. Okay,
But,
Jack, you like Jack Jones? No, he's been making plays.
he has been, and I'm really liking what I'm seeing from him for sure. You know, to me personally, Ronaldo Green has not been showing up for me lately, especially in practice too. He needs work, man. It's killing me to say it. Work still.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm saying that Green has more work to do. And it's kind of a little disappointing to see what he's been giving us, just based on the fact that, I kind of liked what he said at his press conference. You know what I mean? He seemed like he was a little more locked in, like the game slowed down for him. But I do agree. He needs a little bit more work. And yes, Jack Jones has been showing up a little bit more. I've been seeing. I think they play Jones at DB and safety.
Yes.
So,
yes, I think he'll be good at safety too. So, the other one I'm looking at, even though he has been kind of like injured off and on, is Remilio Heights.
Oh, Romello, yeah.
I want to see more for him, and I'm kind of I know he has a little injury right now, but I'm wondering if he's going to be able to play tomorrow. Because I do want to see some plays from him tomorrow against the Raiders.
It'll be the Battle of the Bay. For people who don't know, when we say the Battle of the Bay, for younger fans who only know the Raiders is the Las Vegas Raiders. They initially were the Oakland Raiders. And you got Oakland and you got San Francisco. They are literally separated by one bridge. And that Battle of the Bay is something that's real. Like, there's no games with it. And to be honest with you, I'm actually happy that the Raiders have left, because the Battle of the Bay brought a lot of unfortunate violence on both sides, United fans and Raider fans. I'm being a homer here and say more Raider fans than us, because we're a little more civilized than them. I'm just saying. But, this Battle of the Bay would be something good for them. Those guys can go out there, take some aggression out on each other. Remember, in the last preseason game, you're mainly going to see nothing but backups. That's going to be the key. You're not going to see starters. You won't see any of the starters. We saw a few of them last week, but in this Battle of the Bay, it'll mainly be just straight up backups. The good thing is it gives us a perfect chance to evaluate the talent that we have behind the starters, so we can know, hey, if somebody goes down and we have to do this next man up thing like we unfortunately have to do every year, at least we know, okay, this person will slide in and we won't miss a beat. Or this person's going to slide in, but we got to have a little bit more. So I think it's going to be great.
And speaking of which, we got the one and only 49er Media. How we doing, man?
Am I frozen?
You're frozen.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out my camera.
You are.
It's all right. Just go out. You can go out and come back in, man.
Okay.
Yeah, we're here. Yeah, we'll let him figure his camera and stuff out. Once he gets it right, and we'll be good.
Yeah. So, also too, dude. So we've been having tryouts basically on the left guard area.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about it? Who do you want to see there, and who's standing out to you there as well? Because I know they were flip flopping a lot the past two preseason games between players. I would like to see Robert Jones there, but I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, it's just all over the place right now with the left guard spot. Hopefully they pinpointed who they want to start. I can tell you right now, Connor Colby has not necessarily looked the best at the left guard spot. Jones has probably looked a little bit better. I think they even had Willis in there at the left guard spot for a little bit as well. So we'll have to see who they choose. But me, I'd go with your pick. I'd take Jones to be in there and start at left guard. I think he's probably our best option as of right now. Since all the other offensive line spots are truly solidified, you know that Trent's starting the left tackle. You know Brindle's the center. You know Pooney's the right guard, and you know McKivitz is the right tackle. So we'll see what we got, but definitely excited for this final game because I want to see what we got in those backups, and we'll see what we got as far as the line goes. You know what I mean? Like I said, don't expect to see any of the starters. You may or may not see Mac Jones. I don't know what's going on with Curtis Rourke. I'm not sure if he's healthy, if he's going to play. But to be honest, if anything, we may get – it pains me to say this – we may get a full game of Adrian Martinez, which I don't know how well that's going to work out because that kid is not very good. You know, he had like he's too flashy. Like he has like those moments where you're like, whoa, this guy's great. And then he has that other moment where you're like, I have no idea why you did that. So it's give and take with Martinez, but I will say at a bare minimum, hopefully we can see, you know, a good half of Curtis Rourke and a good half of Martinez as far as the starters. Rourke will definitely be our QB3. And we know Martinez is going to wind up on the practice squad, but, you know, we should get a chance to see what these other receivers have. You know, Jacob Cowan getting injured again, man. I
think Armstrong said it was a groin injury.
And that's the same thing, bro. His groin, hamstring, he's always tearing up something in his legs. And it just doesn't make any sense. And the worst thing for him was he finally had a chance to build some momentum off of something. And now this happens and you're screwed because initially, you know, in that last game, that return for a TD was wonderful. And I've always thought that Jacob Cowan, with his dynamics and his speed, should be our return man. But the man just can't stay healthy. And at that point, what are we to do? We got to turn to someone else. You can barely get on the field. And it's unfortunate, but we got to live in reality, man. I'm sorry. You can't get on the field. At this point, man, cut the dude, call it a day. You know, the 49ers have this weird innate sense to keep holding on to players for no damn reason. And I don't know why. Why are you holding on to someone who consistently gets injured? We kept Jalen Hurd for how many years? And he was injured? We kept worthless Jet McKinnon for how many years? And the only time he actually decided to show up and play was in the COVID year when everybody and their mother was injured. But we needed you to be there all the other times, Kermit Furrow, and you weren't there. So I don't know what the Niners' problem is with holding on to injured players and why they don't let them go or just cut their losses. But they do. And it is what it is. You know, I feel bad for Jacob Cowan because, you know, you constantly are getting injured. But at the end of the day, this is a business. And I'm sorry, I'm in the business of winning games. And if you can't help me win games, you can't even help me. You can't even get on the field. Why am I paying you? Like that, at this point, you just a body, wasting my money and my time. Now, don't get me wrong. You know, I don't think Cowan's getting paid no ridiculous, exorbitant amount of money. But hell, at the bare minimum, I can take that money and put it elsewhere.
Correct.
You know, I know that Bosa gonna come and try to ball out and have himself a good season so he can get a new contract. I know CMC's gonna want to play because he's gonna want a new contract. Like all these things are gonna come into play. But it is what it is.
So let's go ahead and move on with injuries, dude. They keep attacking us. Mike Evans is out again to practice with another injury. This time I believe it's his calf.
It's a hamstring.
Hamstring.
I think I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Mike Evans is just BSing us. I just don't think I think he's old. He just doesn't want to practice. Because how are you constantly injured that many times throughout training camp?
Right.
And then you come out and say, hey, well, you know, if the game was today, I'd be able to play. So what you're telling us is you don't want to practice. You don't feel like you need practice, which to me, I'm sorry, you do need practice because this is not a system that you are comfortable with and that you've been in. And at the same time, I need you to build a rapport with Brock Purdy. Right now, him and Stribling look pretty good. But you and Brock, I understand everybody said you have a good connection and all that. That's wonderful. But at the end of the day, I need to see more of that. I need
Right.
you to string together, all practices all week without any injuries, and then come out on Sunday and ball. Everybody keeps saying how he's been working the DBs and nobody can beat him in one-on-ones, all that stuff. That's nice, but what's the significance?
Here he is.
There we go. Media's back.
I don't know what is up with my computer, so I'm just gonna join from my phone for now.
That's cool.
Okay, that's fine. All right, man.
Give media's thoughts on this stuff.
We went ahead and I'm gonna put you up top while he's gone. Talked about like who we like to see on the team, making it and stuff like that. Just give us some names you think you'd like to have on the team. And
So this isn't like a prediction yet. This is just kind of like who I want, correct?
well, it's kind of like a prediction / like who you want type thing,
Yeah, I mean, the obvious answer is my boy Jacob Cowan, but obviously, I mean, I can't believe he's hurt again, dude, with the groin injury. But I mean, honestly, like, I don't really know if there's a player that I'm like, oh, I want them to make the roster. Like, I don't know. I get this team kind of just feels a little weird this year, where I don't know if there's really like, it's kind of hard in terms of like the cuts, who's really gonna make it. I mean, there's so many of the positions are so deep already, too. So like, I don't really feel like we kind of know. I think like really the only other question mark is right that left guard spot and like safety. But I think other than that, I think we know who will probably make it at the other spots.
Let me ask you a question, media.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's time to move on from Jacob Cowan?
I mean,
several years worth of injuries. We've never gotten anything from him on the actual field in a live game. Do you think it's time to let it go, or do you feel like we should give him another year or so?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough situation because, like, yeah, you can go with 6 wide receivers, but we know Mike Evans is already dealing with a little bit of something too. Deshaun Stribling is also kind of dealing with something. So I don't know. Like, I guess it depends on who would be available. Like, does a team end up cutting someone that, we think, that the Niners could bring in? Like, from what I've been seeing, maybe a guy like Tutu Atwell hasn't been doing too well, I think, in Miami. So, like, if Miami were to cut him, maybe that's a guy that could, like, replace a Jacob Cowing. But honestly, like, again, it just depends on who's out there from other teams when the roster cut. But, yeah, I mean, it's just unfortunate. Like, I think this was his best kind of chance, and I think it is, unfortunately, probably time to move on. And even though, it obviously hurts me to say that, but yeah, unfortunately, I mean, it's just you can't stay healthy.
So,
who do you think should be our left guard? We've got constant competition there. So, who are we looking at to take that mantle and hold that spot down out of all the guys we've seen?
Yeah, I mean, I said this a little bit a few days ago when we were on with Christian, and I get we're in like a win now situation, but I think you give Carver Willis the chance. If he is struggling, I mean, the thing about offensive line is it's not a position, I believe, where you can necessarily just kind of sit there. And especially because the Niners, it's not like, the Laken Tomlinson and Aaron Banks situation where it's like, okay, you have Laken Tomlinson for one more year. You can like have Banks, make sure he's in shape, the proper football shape. And, I know you had to lose some weight just because of how the Niners like their offensive linemen. I think the Niners just are not in that situation. They don't have anybody that can really take that spot. I mean, Robert Jones, he's hurt, right, as well. So I don't know. It's a tough situation because, like, there's not really anybody out there that's, between Carver Willis and
Connor Colby.
Yeah, Connor Colby, that have like just impressed, right? We've heard some reports about Connor Colby looking good, but then kind of after that, it's, slowly kind of slowed down. So I don't know. It's a really tough situation.
Media, do you think we see Robert Jones play there a little bit tomorrow?
Isn't he still injured, if I'm not
Is he?
mistaken?
I
Believe
swear he
so.
came back, but I could be wrong.
Okay, let me
See.
Yeah, he won't play.
No.
According to Shanahan, Jones has an undisclosed injury. They kept him out of recent training camp practices. Team is evaluating whether he'll return for the final preseason game. Probably won't play at the end of in that final preseason.
Okay. Well, that answered my question. But would you want to see him in that position at all?
I think honestly,
where is his regular position at usually?
I think Jones is like one of those do it all kind of guys. I think he can play anywhere.
Anywhere? Okay.
I think he can play all 5 positions. But I think he's mainly a guard or a tackle. I don't really see him playing center very often. So I think he's mainly a guard / tackle.
Got it. Okay. That makes sense. Let's see. We were talking about the injuries too when you just came back, media. We were talking about Mike Evans, how he's out again for practice. I mean, what's your take on Mike Evans being hurt again? Basically all training camp. Per se.
yeah, I mean, it comes. We kind of already knew it was gonna be a risk, just especially him coming off of the hamstring last year. And I'd say, okay, if he was a little bit younger, I wouldn't say that's like really maybe as much of an issue. Could be an outlier, but we know Mike Evans is up there in age too. He's 33 years old, I believe. It's unfortunate. I mean, again, you came with that risk. You knew that was a risk. With Mike Evans, I mean, that's why you've added some more depth too, right? With guys like Jordan Watkins going into year 2, obviously just dribbling. What's his name? DeMarcus Robinson, right? I mean, you have the better depth. I don't know. It's tough. Because I mean, you just don't have Ricky Pearsall too, and not trying to say Ricky Pearsall's Mike Evans, but like you're losing that type of kind of receiver right now with Mike Evans too. I mean, I know the report came out today from Jeremy Fowler just a few hours ago that he is expected to play week 1, despite him dealing with these injuries. So I guess that's somewhat of good news, but I mean, it's also tough because obviously the whole Australia thing too. So, having it be like 17, 18 hours travel, it's a tough situation.
Because Deon was just saying that he thinks it's just kind of like an excuse, basically, and he'll be fine going into week 1, right, D? Oh, you're on mute.
I do honestly feel like that's what's going on. It just seems like that because it's like you're an older dude. You don't really want to practice. Hell, they don't make Trent practice like that. They don't make Christian McCaffrey practice like that. So how are we going to turn around and therefore ask Mike Evans to do? Like, he going to look and be like, okay, so I know I'm the number 1 receiver because ain't nobody better than me, and we need to figure this out. But that's just my thought process on it. What do you think?
Yeah. I can see that happening because they basically kind of did that with Christian McCaffrey. They said Christian had an injury that he was dealing with when he was out, and then you heard Christian the other day when he came back saying that he just wanted to take a break, knowing that he was, he was ready going hard, and he was fine. There was nothing wrong with him. he just wanted a little break so then he could come back and then go right at it 100%.
Now, speaking of Christian McCaffrey, I watched that interview, and I want to know your thoughts because I call super cap. Christian McCaffrey is talking as if he himself is going to, be understanding of not always being the guy on the field and not always having, having the rock and whatnot and scaling it back a bit. I call super cap. Okay. The man's selfish is all get out. We know this. We've heard about this in many different ways. So my thing is I need the collective, i.e. Christian McCaffrey, Bobby Turner, and Kyle Shanahan to come together and all have an understanding that, hey, if Kayvon Black is healthy, he's going to get some touches. We are not going to do him like we did Brian Robinson Jr. and waste his time. I felt bad for Brian Robinson Jr. because he was here and they just wouldn't let him on the dang field. So Black is definitely a hard runner. And as I previously said, I think all you need is just enough space. He's going to hit a home run. Like, he looks shifty. He looks really quick. I like what I've seen from him. But I call cap on that, man. I call straight BS. I doubt you're going to be giving up the rock or coming off the field. I don't believe that. And I don't believe that Kyle and Bobby going to have the balls to tell you to sit down. So, I mean, I really like y'all's opinion on it. I'm saying this a lot. I don't believe it at all. What do you think, media?
About CMC and like the usage and stuff. Yeah. I mean, and the thing is, you bring in Kayvon Black, and I mean, I know he's looked better than probably any of the, aside from Elijah Mitchell, obviously was injury prone, but like, honestly, he's probably looked better than any other rookie running back we've, drafted. But yeah, I mean, the whole question is, will Kyle Shanahan actually finally use him? Because like you said, Deon, it feels like the Niners kind of just go with whatever the CMC way is. And when CMC doesn't want to, get off the field, they don't really say no. And I mean, I think you can use, Kayvon Black in so many different situations, right? With especially at the goal line. I mean, looks like he's at least a better blocker than some of these guys. So maybe that kind of gets him there, but it's such a tough situation. It's something you really can't predict until you actually see it. I mean, I don't trust Kyle Shanahan to do it. I'd be pretty shocked, in fact, if that happens.
Yeah. So honestly, I think this year you're gonna be surprised to see him actually taking a step back and not being out there 100% all the time and always having the ball and stuff. I think we're gonna see split carries, especially with Keon Black back there. I think we're gonna have a 1-2 punch this year, to be honest.
Okay.
I really do.
Me and media say we ain't trusting Kyle and Bobby, and you say you trust Kyle and Bobby to do what they supposed to do. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's time. I think it's that time. He's Christian's older, and I believe his birthday's coming up too. I think he's realizing, look, I can't be going crazy like I have been past couple of years, because I'm not getting any younger, and injuries happen, all this stuff, and we have younger guys that are right behind me, and I think it's going to be that time where, hey, let's have our backup start getting out there and making some plays.
Hope you're right, man.
I hope so too.
Yeah, we're all hoping that you're right.
Yeah.
We just don't trust the fact that you're right.
Another one that stood out too is Nick Bosa hasn't been practicing either because he's dealing with knee tendonitis, right?
Yeah.
But then you heard Bosa say that he's feeling good, he feels great, and he's going to be ready for week 1. What are your guys' take on this? Do we believe what the Niners are saying, or do we believe what Nick Bosa is saying, and if he's really good?
Go ahead, media.
Yeah, I mean, do I trust this coaching, this staff? Heck no. In terms of injuries, they're always lying and trying to hide. I mean, heck, it what 2024 was it? We didn't even know we were ready to play the Jets, and then a few hours before, oh, CMC's not gonna play, and we're like, wow. So I don't know. The whole thing that just makes it even tougher, obviously, than prior seasons is the fact that the Niners have to go all the way, to Australia, and it's a tough situation, to have players that are already dealing with, these issues, right? I mean, again, it's such a long flight, so I think it's such a tough situation, and obviously Nick Bosa's coming off the ACL injury, and basically, had a pushback. So I don't know. It's really tough in my opinion, just because the whole travel thing. Now, if this was, you know, even going to just the East Coast, I'd feel probably a lot better because it's like what half the time, um, or even more than half the time. So I don't know. It's tough to like. It's just a really tough situation just with this whole traveling situation and it being so
Hon-
far.
Honestly, I mean, because his ACL injury came so early in the season last season,
Mhm.
I feel like he is 100%, and he's feeling good and all that stuff. I'm kind of feeding what Nick Bosa is saying. Um, I think he's kind of like pulling a Trent Williams in a way where he
Mhm.
not he's not doing training camp, kind of like how Trent Williams did in the past, right? Um, and I think he'll be okay going into week one. Deon, let me get your take, man.
Me personally, I think Nick Bosa's fine.
Yeah,
I trust him more than I trust our trainers because they can't keep nobody healthy. And he's had this injury before and he came back. So
That's true.
I'm not about to stress Nick Bosa. He knows his body. Plus, at the same time, like as I stated earlier, he's playing for a contract. People, he got to go out there and ball. He knows he has to come up with no less than about 15 to 16 sacks for him to get, big money.
yeah. Speaking of contract, that's another thing. You listening to the radio, 95.7 The Game and KMBR, they're
Mm,
both saying that they think Nick is also holding out because of a contract. I
I
don't
doubt
know.
it.
I
I doubt
doubt. I really doubt it.
Yeah, I don't think
Once
so.
again, you have to think about it. You didn't play last year.
Yeah.
The NFL is a "what have you done for me lately"
Right.
type of league,
Right.
and you didn't do nothing for us last year at all.
Yeah.
And when you don't do anything, you can't come in and then just start acting like you want to hold out because you want a new deal or you want a
Right.
new contract. You have to go out and earn that. Same thing because they even said the same thing about Christian McCaffrey. Oh, he's holding out because he wants a new contract. We're hearing this, we're hearing that. You're not hearing anything. You're making it up. Kyle Kane, I think he was at one of the joint practices and obliterated that day. He was like, "This is not the case. Nothing is wrong with Christian. Like, we're being cautious." So for me, maybe Christian has finally realized, hey, I can't do all the things I used to do. Can't go as hard as I used to go. I maybe have to really truthfully this season scale it back. Once again, I will wait until I see that before I believe it. Because if we have another game where Christian McCaffrey has 25 carries and Kayvon Black has 5, that's not spelling Christian McCaffrey. That's
Right.
not resting him.
Yeah.
That is still overworking him like you always do. But he does need a new contract, and we'll see how hard he can go this year. Being honest with you, if I see what I like from Kalon Black, dang, somebody else will take CMC. I'd rather get younger. We are one of the oldest teams in the league, and we got to get younger, especially at the running back spot. You can't have an old back. Old
Right.
backs don't really do much unless they're like Derrick Henry or something, Marshawn Lynch. Guys who no matter what, they just run through everything like a brick wall, no matter how old they are. Those are the things that I see. But it remains to be seen. I think that Nick Bosa will still come out and have a fairly good year. And I say this, if he comes out and he doesn't have a good year, he gets injured again, When you go to the negotiating table, you have that to use against you. Hey, the last 2 years, man, you ain't really played much. Don't be coming here asking for, top tier Miles Garrett type money. We ain't giving you that. You're going to get middle tier because you're not a game wrecker. And it's no disrespect to him, but he's not. Like some of these guys out there in the leagues are one-man wrecking crews. That is not Nick Bosa. Nothing against him. I like him, but I'm just being honest. Right. So we'll see what he brings to the table as far as the season goes and whatnot. But yeah. I just think honestly, him and CMC are they're just chilling, doing vet stuff. Hey, I'll keep myself right. Once we get done with this preseason game and we start making the cuts and we have to actually practice for our first game, guarantee you it's going to automatically be Bosa and CMC are perfectly fine. Mike Evans is fine. And you're going to randomly see all these injuries magically disappear.
So speaking of injuries as well, might as well go right into it. We saw George Kittle come back to practice, fully healthy, right?
He's been activated. He's
been activated off the pup list. We did talk about this our last show with Christian, but now that you're here, we want to get your take as well. Do we actually see George Kittle go with them and play week 1, or would you rather have him wait till week 2 to start?
Personally, there's two people that I don't want on that plane, and it's Kittle and Kyle. And it's not that I don't. It's not about me not really having a general like for Kyle, so to speak. It's a safety thing. I don't want him to have any headaches triggered by all of the cabin pressure. That is a 14, 15-hour flight. That's long as hell to be sitting on a damn plane. And I would rather play Kittle week 2, but I know Kittle, and he pushing to play week 1. That man, you could send George Kittle out there with one arm, one leg, half an eye, and an index finger and a middle finger, and he still think he can go out there and ball and catch everything. That's just who he is. So it's like you admire the determination, but at the end of the day, hey, you gotta let it be what it is, man. Ain't really much we can do on that. I only want Kyle to stay back because, like I said, you've been in an accident. That concussion was a lot. There's a whole lot going on with him right now, and I don't want him to have any anxiety attacks while he's on a plane or anything like that. Like, it's a serious car crash that he was in. Even though it don't look like nothing happened to him. I don't know who his plastic surgeon is, but he is out there close to Silicon Valley, so I'm pretty sure, all the money he got, he found a way to get somebody to make him look pretty again. Although I still am waiting for him to shave that douchebag mustache. I hate it.
Hey, at least he's spending smart money, unlike we know who.
True.
Yeah. Anshul, your take real quick one more time.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of George Kittle, I think you don't play him week 1. Just like I said with the whole Nick Bosa thing, that's such a long flight. Just like Deon said, the cabin pressure, the way that it can deal with your, legs. I think it's just better to have him stay home, play him week 2.
All right. Well, we might as well get right into it since our boy Joey just brought it up. So, breaking news. Our fucking owner, Jed York, gets in some trouble playing fucking hooky Sunday in Ohio, trying to look for a damn prostitute for $140. Motherfucker's a billionaire. Can't go to Vegas to go get himself a goddamn stripper. He had to go to Ohio and find a fucking private prostitute. Come to find out, the ad that he looked up at was a fucking set me up by the cops. He gets caught, arrested. Body cam footage came out today of him getting arrested. Literally had $140 cash in his wallet ready to go. And homie was dressed in some fucking basketball shorts and a Yankee shirt. So he's ready to get his willy sucked on. So Homie gets hit, gets put in the rigor. Deon, go ahead and explain what he got no contest of and got caught for.
Okay, so basically what happened with Jed York was he pleaded no contest to basically, long story short, money makes a lot of things go away. It's technically what Jed York did is a felony, but it got bumped down to a misdemeanor because money makes everything go away. So he pleaded no contest to engaging in acts to solicit for prostitution, something to that effect. I don't know the pure legal terms. I don't do all the lawyer stuff. That I leave that to the wife. She knows all that. But at the end of the day, it's this simple. And people just understand what I'm saying. Don't judge me. Okay? I'm trying to break it down for people who don't understand, people who don't know how this works. Okay? I give y'all a little bit of information on me. I am from Los Angeles, California, born and raised. I now live in Arizona. So my mother's probably watching this, but I'll tell you this. Forgot. Happy birthday, Mom. Love you. Shout out to Mom. Happy birthday.
Mom.
And
birthday.
so there'd be nights where I told my mom I was hanging out with my boys, and I was not. Of course, as young men, we all tell our parents we go in one place and we go another.
Mm-hmm.
To sharpen my my tools, so to speak, with the ladies, I hung out with pimps. Yes, and I'm not talking about fake pimps. I'm not talking about baby powder from How High with Mike Epps and his
Baby
assistant.
powder.
You know what I'm saying? I hung out with
Baby powder on.
I hung out with real full-on actual pimps. You know what I'm saying? Cats that, had people out there being solicited for money. Money came back. Jed, as much money as you got, you don't have friends in high places that can get you what you was looking for? Or is it that you were just trying to be cheap? Because they say you can't take the boy out the hood. You can take the boy out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the boy. So you mean to tell me I can take the boy out the country, but I can't take I can take the boy out the trailer park, but I can't take the trailer park out of the boy? You could have came to Arizona, okay? I'd have took you down on Van Buren. You'd have had your pick of the litter, bro. And it probably would have cost you less than $140. You probably would have wound up paying a little bit less, to be honest with you. Like, at the end of the day,
bro, he could have gone to fucking Vegas and did that shit legally.
I'm just saying. So my thing is, you go out there, you look for someone to solicit for sex. That's what you did, and you got caught. And you got caught because you did it at a bare minimum, Jed. You did it the wrong way, bro. There are escort services for people with your kind of money.
Oh man,
escort services, bro. I mean, like people that are very discreet. They do not tell your information. They keep it all under wraps. And hey, man, you're gonna have to pay a little bit more, but at the end of the day, you don't get pulled over by the cops in the sting operation trying to catch people soliciting for prostitution.
How did he? Like the main thing is, how the fuck did you fall for it?
Yeah.
On Facebook?
Fall for the ad, bro.
Facebook.
The motherfucker said he worked for real estate. He told the cop that he worked for real estate.
I'm gonna just say this now. Look, Jed, if you need that, I know this is a small podcast. You probably watch bigger ones. Look, man, holla at your boy Down the Game podcast. I get you taken care of. Okay? I got you. Okay, I still got some connects back home. It ain't
fucking shit, bro.
It ain't nothing, man. It ain't nothing. At the end of the day, it's this simple. When you have money, you can make things go away. Yeah. But now Jed is filing for divorce. Now, herein lies
for divorce in May, though.
Okay. So herein lies the issue. So you filed for divorce back in May. You get busted, here in August, for soliciting a prostitute. Here's the problem with that. Once again, you got too much money, okay? If you needed one of those, why you ain't call Robert Kraft? He was in the same BS that you was in. You couldn't call Jerry. You couldn't call none of these other billionaire owners and ask them, hey, man, look, your boy been on a little drought. Because let's be honest, everybody. Everybody goes on a drought, men and women.
You said, look.
You go on droughts. You just don't sometimes. The drought can be 2 days. It can be 2 years. You never know when the drought is coming. But it will. And when it happens, if that catches you off guard, makes you do weird shit, like go out and try to buy hoes when you a billionaire, which don't make no sense because you shouldn't have been doing that. Okay? You had many options on ways to get that. I am so sorry. Let me say this. There are some very ugly people in the world with a lot of freaking money. Women will chase the bread, bro. You can have some of the finest women do all kinds of crazy stuff. When you show them you got that B in your bank account, look, man, they gonna bend it over, bust it open, turn it sideways, flip you upside down, but they gonna do stuff you ain't never even heard of. You're gonna be laying there not knowing what happened and why your soul just got sucked through you know what. You just gotta be smarter about things like this. And at the same time, so here's one thing I did want to address. Because Kyle said, oh, no, it had no effect on the team. That has a big effect on the team. That has a massive effect on the team. Because that is a black eye on our franchise. We ain't never catch Eddie D out there soliciting for hoes. And I can tell you right now, you're getting divorced. So what is the York family going to do? They need to protect their interest when it comes to the Niners. We don't need your ex-wife having ownership of this team. We have to protect that. So now we got to push you backwards.
Hold on real quick.
Go ahead.
If I'm not mistaken, I think the parents actually own the team.
Okay, so his father, and his mother.
His dad does?
Yeah.
So the other thing as well, I can tell you right now, I think Jed York takes a full step back. And I think he's been doing that because if you notice, Jed York ain't been around.
Bro,
he ain't been there.
He been in Ohio for the past couple months.
Yeah, and
over the summer.
Yeah, and you know who's been there? Al Guido. Been there the whole time, been running the team, been doing everything. I think he was grooming Guido to take over for him, and I think that the Yorks trust Guido more than they trust their own child.
Didn't also Guido become like CEO officially?
Yeah. He promoted him.
Yeah.
So with that promotion, I'm like, I think they're moving things around so that he can become, the guy that goes to the owners' meetings, speaks, talks, does all of the media stuff because Guido just carries himself better.
And I think York is done, dude. I
believe he is. This is not something you come back from.
Right.
So what people don't realize is when you get people that have situations with domestic violence, you get cut off immediately. Just an accusation can get you fired. It won't even be true. The court of law, everything. Not in this situation. It's been proven. It's true. I think Jed York, unfortunately, his time is up with the Niners, and it can't come soon enough because we need to get somebody else in there that actually gives a shit about winning championships because he doesn't.
No, I was just gonna say, I think Jed was honestly planning on stepping down. I feel like even before this shit happened.
Just seeing that was going that way with the way that things were going with Guido and the way that you saw the progression of things in the offseason. He just wasn't around like he previously has been. And I think honestly it might have weighed on him too much.
No, and you also have Parag, who stepped down as the cap guy too. So there's so many changes already happening, and then they had the assistant, I think, GM, and the guy that they brought from the Vikings is now the new cap guy. So I wouldn't be shocked honestly if Jed ends up just stepping down, and you kind of have Al Guido as the main guy, because like now it's kind of just like they're trying to run it as a bit. It's not now. Guido's the CEO. He'll probably be the one making the calls, and hopefully he cares more than Jed, which I
Also
think he honestly does.
Guido was actually the one that was in the NFL meetings today.
Mm.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
stuff. So, and
Yeah, Jed is not going to be anywhere near this team.
yeah, no.
I guarantee you, his parents, if he has a publicist, anybody, they're basically saying you need to be a hermit. Stay at home. Don't go nowhere. Don't do nothing. Don't say nothing.
And
Don't get on Facebook asking for hoes.
I
You know
know.
what I'm saying?
And
Freaking
he had a whole ass
Facebook,
another
bro.
phone to do this shit too.
Well, no, he did. He had a burner, but
Yeah.
they caught him on the burner.
Mm-hmm.
So just so you know, people, when they put the report out, they say he was caught with criminal tools. In the state of Ohio, a criminal tool is whatever you use to commit the crime. So the criminal tool in Jed York's case was his cell phone because that is what he used to commit the crime. So don't think of criminal tools as just like a knife or a bat or a gun. It can be whatever you have used in that state to commit the crime. If I picked up this thing that holds a cell phone and I used it as a weapon, that is a criminal tool. Just so you guys understand the reference in what he said.
Yep.
Or what's being described, should I say.
9:54 p.m.
Yeah, it's just fucking just can't catch a break with injuries, with fucking
Dude, this team
with
is a
Brandon
whole like
now with Jed
content
York.
just machine, dude. It's like they just do not disappoint in terms of being content creation because there's always something for you to
always
talk
something.
about.
Dude, we can never stay quiet during the off season. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did want to ask y'all about this. It's not about our team, but I did want to ask how y'all feel about it.
9:54 p.m.
How do you guys feel about the Browns starting Deshaun Watson?
I mean,
I don't blame them, I guess.
I
know.
mean, okay, my this is how simple I'll keep it. It's the Cleveland Browns.
Speaking of which, the Cleveland Browns, you think you'd hear all the bullshit that the Niners going through with the fucking Browns? Okay? Like, honestly.
I'll say this. For
Yeah.
me,
I don't know.
I think it was a stupid move. I think they knew all along that Deshaun was going to wind up being the starter.
Yeah.
And I think they did the competition so that they didn't piss off Shador. Here's my thing. Is Shador the greatest quarterback ever? No. Not by any stretch of the imagination. You know, was he highly touted coming out of college? Yeah, a little bit. But at the end of the day, the key is when you draft a quarterback, the first thing you want to do is see what you've got in them. You want to know if this is going to be the guy. If I'm the Cleveland Browns, I understand you starting Deshaun Watson because the owner asked you to start Deshaun Watson. Because the owner came and said, hey, we're paying him $47 million. I'm not sitting $47 million on the damn bench. At the end of the day, if they start him the whole season and he stinks up the joint, there's nothing more. What's going on, Courtney? There's nothing more you can do because he knows this is his last run. There's no other team that is going to touch Deshaun Watson with a 10-foot pole. And at this point, with his track record, they might make that pole about 35 feet because they don't want to, him touching them in any. But what I will say is you should have let Shador start and just gave him a full season with the starters and just seen how he progressed. At a bare minimum, if you didn't like what you saw within the first 4 to 6 weeks, then you could have flipped and gave the ball to Deshaun. It wouldn't have been as bad. But what you have to remember is Shador has that city. He has those fans. He has that team behind him. So all these guys are there, and they like him. And the BS excuse they came up with was, oh, we're going to start him. He's going to be on the road, so he won't hear the boos as much. If you come home and stink up the joint, I don't care if you come home 2-0. They still going to look at you and be like, boo, we don't like you.
Mm-hmm.
Like some things you just don't come back from, okay? If you want to know why Ray Rice never had another snap in the NFL, It's because he snapped and hit his woman. That woman even went back to him. I believe they're still together to this day. They reconciled their differences. But Ray Rice never set foot on an NFL field again. Nobody would touch him. Deshaun lucked out because he played the position that the league covets the most, which is quarterback. That's why he wound up still being picked up, even after all of the egregious charges and the billion freaking civil cases and things like that. At the end of the day, Deshaun, I hope you didn't screw off that money. I hope that you kept it right, that you invested it, that you had a good financial advisor, and that you find other things to do. Because football, this is your last year. I don't see him playing anymore. And to me personally, I would have started Shador just because I need to figure out if I am drafting a quarterback next year or I am not.
Well, I mean, they drafted fucking 4.
Yeah, they drafted that guy from Oregon.
But what I'm saying is, you know Dylan Gabriel ain't the guy. You know that. And everybody knows Dylan Gabriel is not the guy. He ain't done nothing in this league. He ain't going to do nothing in this league. Okay? But you should have came in and said, let me see what I got in this kid. Let me just give it a shot, see what we got, and then you go from there. Go see winning games. Deshaun Watson is starting quarterback. Say they're 8-3. What's your respect? To be honest with you, I'm not going to lie. I do agree with the adage that winning does cure everything for fans. But Deshaun has negatively impacted the fans in so many different ways. I don't know if Winnie's going to shut him up. I really don't, because you got to think about it. You came out and basically was like, you know, I got injured on this field and these people booed me. You know, they were upset with this, they were upset with that. First of all, you stuck up the joint since you've been there. You ain't done nothing to earn nobody's respect. Nobody should be over there cheering that you on the field. You sucked since you got there.
Yeah.
The Deshaun Watson in Houston is not the Deshaun Watson in Cleveland. And that's what they were hoping they were getting. And they got nothing. They wasted $232 million. Wasted every penny.
2 injuries to the massage parlor fucking debacle. And yeah. I don't know, man. The Browns.
It kind of is what it is on that one. You just let it be.
Yeah.
I personally think they should have started Shador, but hey, you'll see what happens when he plays, and if he doesn't look good,
All right.
it is what it is.
Yeah. I got 2 more questions for you guys, and then we'll end it. First things first is today, like it says on the bottom of the ticker, the NFL decided to eliminate the Pro Bowl. Thoughts, guys?
Finally, a goddamn time. The Pro Bowl fucking sucks. It's useless. Like, other than, okay, obviously it's good that these players get the recognition of, they're like a Pro Bowl, basically like an all-star, which that's completely fine. But honestly, like compared to other sports, I think the Pro Bowl in the NFL was just dumb to have, because I mean it's flag football, and it's like nobody's gonna care when you have the Super Bowl like the next week. I think it was just useless. So I'm honestly glad that it's gone.
It's gone now. Yeah.
I think the Pro Bowl went in the toilet when they switched when it was played. Because no one is going to want to play in the Pro Bowl the week before the Super Bowl. I'm not taking a chance on getting injured before that. That makes it happen. He ain't going back to Houston.
I don't think so either.
Nah, bro. If you remember what happened with that owner and everything there,
no way.
They will stick with CJ Stroud. They'll hope and pray that he can figure it out. But he's not going back to Houston. But with the Pro Bowl, I think when it was played after the Super Bowl, it was better. Why? Because everybody went. I'm going to be honest with you. When you went to the Pro Bowl, man, shit, that was an extra check. And if you won, it was a little bit more than the losers. Now, mind you, it has taken a turn for the worse over the years. It's just gotten just horrible. It's to a point where the guys don't even play. And I think that's why they just took the Pro Bowl away, because they're not even trying. Yeah. Like at this point, you got wide receivers wanting to play DB, and it's just become a joke. Me personally, I feel like if they would have kept it after the Super Bowl, along with telling players like, "Hey, when you go out in this game, play this game, bro. Like,
Right.
don't go out there and just joke around." I'm not saying you got to go out there and kill somebody, but try. And that they've been threatening doing this for years because no one is trying.
Yeah.
Because it just looks like they're just out there doing whatever, and nobody wants to see an basically the Pro Bowl for the NFL is the All-Star game. Nobody wants to see an All-Star game and nobody's trying. That's stupid.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't want to watch that. Man, if that's the case, but that would be like watching the MLB All-Star game and all they're doing is just tossing the ball up so people can knock home runs out of there. That's stupid. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. I don't know why they changed it. I don't, but I agree with you, Courtney. If they did it like they did it previously,
Right.
after the season, you would probably have better participation because then you don't have guys that are stressed out, or thinking, "Hey, I got to play a game next week. I don't want to get injured."
It'd be nice.
Do it.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they kept it the way it was. They kept it in Hawaii. Because everybody was having fun.
And plus, that brought Hawaii tons of money.
Yeah.
That brought them extreme revenue. That's a wonderful thing when you can do that for a small island that needs every penny they can get. You know what I'm saying? And it's not to say that Hawaii is suffering like that, but at the end of the day, man, hey, when you have something like the Pro Bowl in your city, or what I'm saying, in their case, in that small little country, hey, man.
Yep.
You gotta do what you gotta. You go out there. And plus, I mean, hell, I never heard about people getting in trouble or acting a fool. And people used to always have a good time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you went out there to do it.
I mean, shit, it was Hawaii for crying out loud.
Yeah, sucks that the Pro Bowl is gone, but I mean, it kind of was something that we saw coming.
Yeah.
And we just kind of got to deal with it. I'll say this, Jed, next time you trying to, have that situation, man, holler at your boy, man. I got you. Okay. Just saying.
Okay. Well, last question of the night, and we'll go ahead and end it. I thought this was very interesting and kind of weird in a way. Thoughts on players getting cut or released from their NFL team and then going back to college to play?
Yeah, there's that guy who was it? The Browns or something, the tight end.
Yep.
Yeah, and then he's going back.
Oh, I thought eligibility was shot once you left and got into the league. I didn't know you could go back and actually play. Oh, is this because of the new NIL deals and stuff, or what?
Yeah.
Oh,
I guess because some players, right? They end up making more.
Me personally, I find it appalling. Backwards. It doesn't make sense.
So I just saw this afternoon ESPN from Adam Schefter posted that the NFL will inform its teams that any player who returns to the college ranks will be prohibited from signing with the NFL team this season.
Yeah.
So basically, they're going to college and that's their decision, and basically they can't come back. Like,
I mean, if you go to college, go back to college for your education, I get it.
That's different.
If you're going to play football, bro, the XFL is right there.
Yeah.
Or the UFL or whatever the hell they call themselves. I don't know.
Yeah. So,
but you could go there and get a job and be cool. You still get your reps in. You still get your work in. You're probably going to be better than most of the people that are already there on the team.
Yeah.
So, basically,
just go do that.
The tight end from the Browns that got cut, he's going to go back to college ball and play at LSU with Lane Kiffin, supposedly.
Yes.
And then I guess after this whole shit went ahead and happened, I guess SEC already banned for that happening with all their teams in their
I think it was a Big Ten.
It was I think Big Ten and SEC did it.
Yeah. Okay.
So I just thought that was fucking weird, to be honest. I've never heard of such a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely kind of weird. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I get like some players, right? If they're not gonna get drafted super high, then like even NIL they'll make more. But like you said, Deon, I think Like it makes much more sense if you're going because you're gonna finish up a degree or something.
Right.
But that to me is just kind of weird going back to college. Like I think you make that decision already, right? Oh, I'm gonna like before the draft, right? Okay, maybe I'll enter the draft, but then it doesn't go so well, whatever at the combine or whatnot, or with team meetings, like interviews, then you'll go back. But I think it's just a little it's weird.
Yeah.
Especially because like some of these players may have already were playing in the NFL, and then like you're going back to college.
Yeah, like I said, if I was gonna go backwards, I'd just go to UFL and play there. That'd make sense. But before we get up out of here, I got a little something for Jed here. It's just a little dedication for you. I got hoes. Flag. I don't want to get us flagged for using Luda. That's shout out Ludacris. Rest in peace to Nate Dogg, one of the greatest hook writers ever. But I had to do it, man. I had no choice. He'll be fine.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be fine.
I don't see Nick Bosa missing week 1. I think he'll be perfectly fine. I don't think it's really tendonitis. I think it's just the fact that he taking his time. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
dude,
man,
it's just so weird because like we haven't seen the 2 offensive linemen we signed in free agency because they've just been hurt.
Yeah.
Media ain't nothing weird about that. This is normal for us.
Nah, fair enough.
Dude, let me put it this way. I just saw a fucking list right now that says we're already the most fucking injured team.
Oh yeah, no, I saw a list too where it was literally like it had all the teams and the number of injuries, and then I see Raiders with like 1, and I'm like, bro.
Look at this shit real quick before we end it.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this shit.
Yep, that's the same one I looked at.
Fucking 25, dude.
And it's not 25 players that are gonna get cut. Like it's not like the practice squad like players. It's actual meaningful players too that are.
Yeah, this ain't 25. Regular dudes, but
Yeah, it's not like
at the end of the day, man. We just gotta hope and pray that the season's good. We'll be back with another video because we'll do a prediction on who's gonna make the roster and whatnot. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, man, you want to be like Jed York. Oh,
I fucking can't, bro. And on that note, until next time, guys, I will be live tomorrow for the game, doing play-by-play on show. Deon, if you guys want to join, let me know.
It's a 7 at 5 o'clock.
It's at 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
D, let me know if you want to join too, bro. Let me know. I know you have work, but if you do, just let me know.
Yeah, I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted. Let's get up out of here.
All right. Until next time, guys, go Niners. Peace.
Peace.